These movies were so perfect they left us saying, please don't ruin this with a sequel. But did Hollywood listen? No, they did not. Sometimes Hollywood just can't leave well enough alone. The Matrix, a mind-bending sci-fi masterpiece, blew us away with its groundbreaking special effects, complex themes, and of course, Keanu Reeves in a long leather coat. The film was a smashing success, earning over $460 million worldwide and snagging 4 Academy Awards. It was hailed as one of the best sci-fi films ever made. Then came The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions. The once sleek and innovative franchise got bogged down by convoluted plot lines, philosophical babble, and CGI overload. Even Keanu's long leather coat couldn't save it. Audiences and critics alike were left disenchanted, with both sequels receiving mixed reviews and a substantially lower rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And don't even get us started on Matrix 4. Just don't.
I've seen an agent punch through a concrete wall. Men have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air. Everyone who has fought an agent has died. But where they have failed, you will succeed.
So what do you mean? Guns? Lots of guns.
When Spielberg's Jaws hit theaters in 1975, it became a cultural phenomenon. It won 3 Academy Awards and was nominated for Best Picture. The film struck terror into the hearts of beachgoers everywhere and created the summer blockbuster genre. With a formidable 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, it was a masterpiece. However, the subsequent sequels were more laughable than scary. Jaws 2 managed to retain some of the original's suspense, but Jaws 3D and Jaws: The Revenge were cinematic catastrophes, with the latter scoring a horrifying 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. The sequels lacked the nuance and suspense of the original, reducing a great white shark to a revenge-seeking caricature.
You heard him. Slow ahead. Slow ahead. I can go slow ahead. Come on down and chum some of this shit.
The Hangover was an unexpected comedic goldmine. It was a simple story of a bachelor party gone wrong, and it worked. The film was both a critical and box office success, raking in over $467 million worldwide and scoring a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. The antics of Phil, Stu, and Alan were fresh, funny, and surprisingly heartfelt. However, The Hangover Part 2 and Part 3 felt like bad hangovers themselves. They rehashed the same plot lines and jokes, leaving audiences feeling as if they were stuck in a Groundhog Day of increasingly dull frat humor. Even the cast seemed to be less enthused, with performances lacking the spark of the original.
What happened last night?
Am I missing a tooth?
Oh.
Whose baby is that?
Check its collar or something.
Home Alone was a delightful family film about a boy left behind during Christmas defending his home from burglars. Macaulay Culkin became an instant icon, and the film earned over $476 million worldwide. It was nominated for 2 Academy Awards and still holds a respectable 66% on Rotten Tomatoes. Then came Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, which was essentially the same film but set in New York. The charm of the original started to wear thin. Home Alone 3 and 4 replaced Culkin with new actors and even worse plots, leaving us all wondering just why.
He's a kid. I mean, what can a kid do to us?
Kids are stupid. I know I was.
You still are, Mark.
This is it. I don't care.
Speed, the high-octane action film starring Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, was a smash hit. With a unique premise, a bus that will explode if it goes below 50 mph, it kept audiences on the edge of their seats. The film earned 2 Academy Awards and a 94% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Speed 2. Cruise Control, however, took everything that made the original exciting and threw it overboard. The film replaced Reeves with Jason Patric and swapped the speeding bus with a slow-moving cruise ship. Critics and audiences agreed it was a disaster, with the film earning a pitiful 4% on Rotten Tomatoes.
We just got a ransom demand from you terrorists. Says he's rigged the city bus. Where's Jack?
Where do you think?
Stay on or get off.
Get off!
This is much better.
Grease is a staple of American pop culture, a nostalgic sing-along tribute to high school love and 1950s rock and roll. It was a box office smash hit, earning nearly $400 million worldwide, and it held a solid 75% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Then in 1982 came Grease 2, which lacked both the charm and the memorable musical numbers of the original. It swapped out John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John for Maxwell Caulfield and Michelle Pfeiffer in her first starring role. But not even Pfeiffer's future star power could save the film. It was critically panned and is often forgotten as a footnote in the Grease legacy. The first two parts of Francis Ford Coppola's epic saga about the Corleone mafia family are often hailed as two of the greatest films of all time. Both films won the Academy Award for Best Picture and hold stellar ratings of 98% and 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, respectively. The long-awaited third installment, however, disappointed many. The Godfather Part III lacks the compelling narrative and depth of its predecessors, despite earning 7 Oscar nominations. The sequel suffered from behind-the-scenes drama, with Coppola admitting it was created under a certain amount of pressure. The film's lukewarm reception and 68% Rotten Tomatoes rating was a less than fitting end to the Corleone saga.
My father's no different than any other powerful man who's responsible for other people.
If I had this part in the picture, it puts me right back up on top again.
Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
He says there's no chance.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Highlander, a quirky fantasy film about immortal warriors, wasn't exactly a critical darling when it was first released. However, it gained a cult following due to its unique premise, memorable quotes, and Queen-powered soundtrack. With a modest 69% on Rotten Tomatoes, it wasn't perfect, but it was loved. The sequel, Highlander 2, The Quickening, abandoned much of what made the original appealing. It rewrote the original's backstory and shifted the genre from fantasy to sci-fi, leaving fans bewildered. The film was plagued with production issues, leading to an incoherent final product that has a Rotten Tomatoes rating of just 0%.
There can be only one.
Caddyshack is a classic comedy that's fondly remembered for its offbeat humor and iconic performances from Chevy Chase and Rodney Dangerfield. Despite a mixed initial response, it has garnered a cult following over the years and holds a respectable 73% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Caddyshack 2, however, is universally recognized as a dismal failure. The sequel replaced nearly all the original cast, and the humor felt forced and uninspired. Both critics and audiences panned the film, earning it a disastrous 4% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Rodney Dangerfield wisely chose to avoid the sequel, proving the age-old adage, sometimes you just don't get a mulligan.
It's all about swinging.
Kiss me, you fool.
But not on the course. Playing a good game.
That's the ball. He got out of that one.
And talking a better one.
Hey, I should have stayed home and played with myself.
Last, but certainly not least, is Star Wars, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. This is a tricky one, as it's technically a prequel. However, its impact on the beloved original trilogy was too significant to ignore. George Lucas's return to the Star Wars universe was highly anticipated, but fans were left disappointed. The film introduced underwhelming characters, Jar Jar Binks, anyone? An over-reliance on CGI, and the less than exciting topic of space politics. It holds a dismal 52% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which doesn't hold up to the high standards of the original trilogy. Even its cast had a rough time, with young Anakin actor Jake Lloyd retiring from acting due to the intense backlash.
Now, young Skywalker, you will die.